Can you explain a little bit about your situation before you started working with us?
Yes, so I had thought I had a funnel. Well, I had a funnel that was working. Well, it wasn't quite working. I felt like the best way or best analogy I could use is it felt like I had a bucket and I knew there were holes and there was a lot of money being lost. I felt like I didn't have the expertise to do it. I didn't have the time and I didn't have the team to come in and handle this for me while I focus on the other side of the business, which was really trying to scale it and bringing in new ideas, that sort of thing. So yeah, I was stuck. I was also stuck at a certain amount I was making a month. I knew I could get past that, but again, I was stuck at that point. So yeah, I just needed the right team to come in and pretty much save the day for me.
Fair enough. So, have you had like any forms of partnerships like this in the past before?
No, I haven't. So I have had partial, but not the full team, a full team that literally does handles everything end to end, be it this my be it my scripts, be it my everything and anything from beginning to end. I've not had any of that. Um so yeah, but I've only had things like, for example, someone handling the social media, and even that they were not covering everything I needed them to cover. I was still having to oversee a lot of how I was having to give a lot of feedback. I was still very hands on, and I didn't really want to be that hands on. I just needed them to take it and run with it and be really proactive with it.
Can you walk me through some of the doubts that you had before we started working together? Because people don't like want to have a team, or people choose not to have a team because they have like certain doubts and certain
Mhm.
beliefs. So can you walk me through like how you felt like prior to when we started the partnership?
So for me, I think I was in a position whereby I knew I needed the help. I think I'd put off that help for a long period of time, but I knew that if I wanted to scale at the rate I wanted to scale, I needed to have a really good, solid team behind me. So as much as, but in the same breath, I do completely understand where people come from there, because naturally you have a fear that if you do hand everything over, will they do it right? Will they understand your brand vision? Will they understand what it is you're trying to achieve? Will they even do a good job? That's another thing. So I can understand a lot of people will worry about, okay, am I just going to be throwing a whole load of money down the drain only to receive or see nothing in return? So I get that feeling. But for me, I needed to take that risk for my business. Otherwise, for me, I had the mindset of this, okay, I can sit on this and decide to, languish in that fear, or just take the risk and see what happens. And I would have rather just take that risk and see what happens than just sit in that situation, because I was not comfortable with sitting in that situation. So for me, yeah, taking that risk was needed in order for me to pretty much have a lot more free time, because it's freed up a hell of a lot of my time.
That's good to know. So would you say there was any tipping point that like made you feel like, you know what, I'm actually going to do this? Was there anything that we shared with you or anything that you observed that was that tipping point that made you feel like, you know what, I'm actually going to move forward with this?
I think it was the fact that, number one, you guys were quite niche. You don't just take on any client. I could see, based on our interaction, you let me know up front that your main niche was with healthcare professionals. And so for me, immediately that struck a chord for me, because I knew I needed a team, but I knew I needed a team that was quite specific, and I knew it was very niche. So I knew it was going to be hard to find. So that was the number one thing, if I'm honest, that really drew me to wanting to speak further, and I guess explore more. The other things I think that tipped it over was hearing of other clients that you have and their success rates to date as well. And finally, I think when discussing with, I could already tell from the kind of questions you were asking, it wasn't generic questions that you usually get when a marketing team's asking you questions. You were asking very specific questions, which let me know that you were genuinely wanting to know everything about how my business works and how the academy runs, and what the pain points were. You were really delving very granular into those questions, wanting to know everything. And that told me was that, number one, you actually took interest in that, and you clearly wanted to do something with that, and not just churn out any other generic kind of data or information for me. You actually wanted to be very granular. So that told me that, okay, you guys actually do know what you're doing, and you actually are taking an interest and understand the direction I'm going in. So for me, that, I guess, that was reassuring for me. It really reassured me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and the reason for that is it is not a productized service. Like we don't just rinse and repeat the same thing for every single person.
Yeah.
So like every client is different. Every client has their own unique situation, and
Mhm.
it just really helps us know exactly what each client would need in order for them to scale. So that's why we have that approach. So I'm glad that was useful for you as well. From when we started working together, like how quickly did you start to see improvements in your sales numbers?
So I think we were about 2 weeks. Oh, hold on. Was it 2 weeks in, I think it was either 2 or 3 weeks in, where we done the first webinar. I think that was the biggest. Oh, okay. I was quite shocked at that. Number one, at the numbers that came in to the webinar. I think you completely smashed what I'd had before. And as well, the turn up rate as well. That was another thing that I took note of as well as the conversions. And I think for me, that was a very big, that really grounded me in, oh, okay, so we can actually scale pretty quickly based on just this one webinar that you guys had gone ahead with. So yeah, I think it was 2, 3 weeks in, I saw the results, and then week in, week out, it continues to be pretty good, really good actually. We did really good month one, and I was not expecting it to be that way, if I'm honest. I think in my head I was trying to be a lot more realistic, and my mindset was, look, okay, it could be a slower month when you guys took over, and then after the testing and things like that, then I would expect that it would get much better. But no, you completely smashed it out the park the first month. So yeah, very impressed.
Cool, cool. So, kudos to you as well, because the only reason why we were able to get you those types of results in a very short time frame is because of the infrastructure that you already had, right? First off, you were already getting sales, so you were not starting from scratch, and you
Yeah,
actually have a very good like a very, very good product. Like, and you have so much proof so as well. So like those
yeah,
things, and you started in April. So I've gathered that
yeah.
much proof in that like short time frame just shows you how actually amazing the product that you have is. So it's not just like us. We don't have like magic fingers or anything. I
Thank
genuinely
you.
believe you have an amazing product. Your clients actually get results,
Yeah,
and your product solves literally every problem they will face if they are
yeah.
trying to do the thing. So that's a big, big component of that so as well. So shout out to you as well, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So why do you think this partnership has worked so well over the past month?
I would say actually really clear communications. There's clear communication. There's also consistent communication as well. Check-ins. We also have our own chat as well. So anything that crops up, it's a swift response. So I think, to be honest, communication has been the key in ensuring that everyone's on the same page, everyone understands what's next, what's expected of them as well. I always know what's expected of myself, so I know exactly how to plan myself as well ahead of the game. So I think that has been a big component, if I'm honest. I've always known what's going to be happening next, why what's being done is being done. I'm always being kept in the know. So I don't have to ask. If I'm honest, I really don't have to ask, because it's just the information is just provided to me, and that for me is a great thing. In fact, I think that's the pivotal thing actually that's making this whole thing work so well. Yeah. So yeah, that's it really.
Cool. Cool. Prior to December, do you know like how many students, like how many new students you used to like average a month prior to December?
So I think prior to December, I think it was averaging anywhere between, I think 17, I think it was averaging around about 17 to 18 students, I think.
Gotcha.
Um, I think it was around about that because we would vary. There were some, I think the lowest class I had was like 8 students. I think that was the lowest. And I think the highest was probably 27, maybe 28. But we managed to sell out the whole of January the following month, which was December. So we managed to sell out the whole of January cohorts, and now we're already halfway filled for the February cohorts, which was amazing. So yeah, we've really smashed.
Yeah. And like each course is about 30 students, right?
That's right. Yeah. So we have two cohorts a month, and it's 30 students per cohort. Um, so yeah, I guess as we're scaling, I get for one program, that's for one program. For the other program, as we scale up, I expect we'll have to also increase the cohorts for that as well. So it'll be 30 again, 30, 30. That's 16 total a month students. So yeah,
Cool, cool. That's really cool.
yeah.
Outside of obviously growing your business, what has partnering with a team like us allowed you to do outside of business?
It's given me a lot more time. A lot more time. Just realized since having this team, I think I spent at least 70, 80% of my time all surrounding the funnel, how to keep that moving and what to do next. That was my main focus. And it was taking away from many other things that I could have been doing, especially with new programs that I have or trying to improve on the programs and things like that. So it really has freed up a lot of my time so I can really just laser focus on the program itself and the academy and how to better the service and how to continue to improve the service. So yeah, it's been a massive, massive, massive weight off my shoulders because it was literally something for me. I knew I would lose sleep over this because looking for a team that really aligns with you and really understands your business and where you're what you're headed for and what your vision is really difficult. So the fact that I managed to get a team that fits in perfectly for me was the biggest blessing of last year for me. Biggest blessing.
That's that's so cool to hear. That's really cool. And
Yeah.
I'm glad we've been able to provide you the level of service that you actually want. And
Yes.
we plan to keep doing that. Like this is still baby numbers, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we plan to keep scaling that, and the team is really going to be excited to watch this. So
Amazing. Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
so I think finally what I would just say is what would you say to the team watching this? Because I'm going to go and play this for them right now. So
Yeah.
what would you say to the team watching this?
Just I don't even know what to say. I can't express how grateful I am, honestly, to the team. I can't stop singing your praises, honestly. To anyone that cares to hear, I can't stop singing your praises. And I'm just so grateful for every one of you and all the efforts that you put in. And I think my biggest prayer and hope is that we just continue to have this very seamless, amazing team and yeah, we just continue to flourish, and the academy continues to flourish. So that's my biggest. I just want to say massive, massive, massive well done to everyone. Thank you so much. I'm so appreciative. And yeah, here's to a great 2026.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
This was really good
All
to
right,
hear.
bye.
Yeah, bye.